is just the start.
What's up, guys? Thanks for stopping by the Obviously Authentic channel. My name's Leah, that's spelled L-E-A and not L-E-A-H. So we're going to be talking about growing up hip-hop. This is probably going to be a short review. I'm going to try to make it short because I'm only going to hit the three things that I thought were, three events that happened that I thought was like hell weight, basically. So I'll start off with what was not that serious, was the TT and Shawn situation. Basically, TT is going through it being a first-time mom. She's all disjointed, discombobulated, and things of that nature. We see her call FaceTime Shawn, and he's in Jamaica. I guess Shawn has a job that makes him go back and forth from the States to Jamaica, but TT is just like, she's having a hard time being alone, being a first-time mom, and then him going back and forth. And basically, she wants to go to counseling. He's like, why do we need to go to counseling? We don't fight. And she was like, no, we don't fight. You try to placate me, but secretly, I'm still mad at you. So then he was like, you still mad? So I guess he really did have that infidelity, or he did cheat on her, because he immediately was like, okay, I'll be there in 36 hours. So he was like, I'll be there. And she was like, okay. And he was like, no, I mean it. I will be there. So we see them go to counseling. The person said they weren't a therapist, so I guess they might be like a mediator or a counselor. And he basically was like giving them good advice about getting married. He asked them why did they both want to get married. TT was like, I feel like I can be myself with him and I trust him when I'm being myself. Shawn basically was like, I never thought I would get married or have a family, but I met Tahira, because that's TT's real name, and I can't see myself without her and our son in my life. So that's his reasoning for getting married. And the therapist said those are good reasons to get married. So then they just start talking, and TT starts basically saying, like, she goes from one extreme to another, and she brings up her issues with her cousins, i.e. Pep and Egypt. And basically what she says is that when she's all in for something, she's all in. She was like, in the beginning of their relationship, if her family needed her, she would drop Shawn and go be with her family. Now that she's having issues with her family, she has been like pushed them to the side, because he was like, they're not needed in my life anymore. And she's worried that she might go from one extreme to another with Shawn, and she doesn't want that to happen. So Shawn basically says, like, they don't have to be friends, like close family anymore. But he was like, I would want them to get to a happy place, which I like that about him. One thing I don't like is his whole thing is like, TT says Shawn doesn't believe in divorce. That is a crock-a-doo-doo. When men say they don't believe in divorce, it means I can cheat on you and treat you any type of way, but we gonna always be together. Or I'm gonna make it harder for you to leave me. And I'm gonna make this divorce hell, so you just placate, you just settle for this. So I don't like that. Shawn need to get it together, Shawn. Hopefully they have figured out their situation with him cheating. I hope he's not marrying her just to cheat on her again. She even alluded to them having a rocky relationship in the beginning. So yeah, I am like, I'm hopeful that their relationship will work out. I don't remember seeing any wedding pictures, so I don't know if they got married or not. Maybe they're waiting or taking some time to still figure out. But I don't follow none of these people. So like, I don't know what's really going on in their life. So then we can get to the Brianna and Boogie situation. Boogie's on the phone. He's like in the car, and he's on the phone with the dude DJ. We met DJ last season. Basically, Boogie met DJ at the rehab center, and this was his business partner that he was going to be opening up halfway houses. And cool. DJ had some really good advice for Boogie. He basically said, like, Brianna was there for you when you needed to go to rehab, so it's your turn to be there for her and be her support system. Which is true. She really was there for him. So he's in the car and he FaceTimes Brianna. Brianna got a full wine glass, and like she was like, oh, just come up. And he's like, and she was like, do you want? And he kind of makes like a comment about like, oh, so you drinking? And she was like, yeah, do you want one? And he was like, no. And she was like, why don't you come up? He was like, nah, I'm not on, like, I don't know. So then he gets off of FaceTime, and then he's like frustrated, and he's yelling at production, and they like, Boogie, why are you yelling at us? And he's like, cause I'm frustrated. And I'm like, yeah, you can be frustrated, but don't put that on them. So then he gets pissed, and I guess, I don't know if Boogie, I always thought Boogie was on drugs. I didn't know that Boogie had an alcoholism issue. So if like, because that seems to be why he's so annoyed and so like got so frustrated, because she offered him a drink. I don't know if he's in I mean, you're always in recovery no matter what if you're an addict. But so I don't know if he's still fresh in it. So maybe he took offense to it, but he got really angry. My thing about Boogie is Boogie can be very condescending, and I think Brianna picks up on that, and that's why I'm like, I get where she's coming from with him in certain aspects of their relationship, because there's certain things that Boogie does that, like, if it were me, I would check him real quick about that. Like, he makes like slick comments, or he does a face, and it's like, if you're gonna be petty or be shady, just stand fully in it. Don't be giving me that fake like I'm Switzerland type stuff, because no, I'm not stupid. I know if you're trying to play me. And I think that's the issue that Brianna has with him. So then we have like, so Brianna is drinking, and she got really angry because Boogie calls her back, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna have to take a rain check. I'm have to go. So then she's like, why you not coming up to my apartment? And he's like, just give me this favor. And she was like, no, I'm always doing favors for you. And he was like, same for you. So then they get to arguing, and she's like, you know what, forget it. So she hangs up. Then she throws her phone on the ground. So I was like, she had to be tipsy, because there ain't no reason why you would throw your iPhone on the ground. Plus, it looked like it didn't have no OtterBox on it. So it might have been one of them cheap cases like this thing right here. So I'm just kind of like, girl, that was bold. So then she's like pissed, and she's like stewing in her anger. And like, he's outside about to get in the car, and he's just like, I didn't want this to happen like this. Cause he's anxious, cause he wants to talk to Brianna about her drinking, but like, this wasn't the right time for him to do it. So she gets mad, and I know she was mad because she came down there in a wife beater with slides on and some sweat shorts. She came down there in her lounge wear. The only time you come outside with just lounge wear on, and she was on camera, is when you going to get your DoorDash, your Grubhub, when you going to get a package from your mailbox or your mail center in your apartment complex, or going to take out the trash. At least that's when I have on my lounge wear. I'm not going to be going downstairs where there's a full camera crew and with my titties just dangling, arguing with somebody. So she's going off. She called him spoiled, the B word. She was like, you think too highly of yourself, and your resume does not like show for you to, you don't have the resume to act the way you do. She kept calling him a spoiled brat. She called him a little kid, because Brianna is older than him. And she was just going off, and he just kind of took it. And he was like, I'll talk, in his confessional, he was like, I'll talk to her when she not drunk. So I guess she was drunk. My thing is, like, she was like, Brianna can be either a calm drunk, or she's just very aggressive. And she needs to work on that, because she's a beautiful person. But like, it's a lot that's in there that she need to work on. Like, really. But the thing is Boogie also needs to acknowledge that he hurt her feelings, and he's not acknowledging that. And I think that's what's making the situation worse, because it's like, how you gonna say you care about me and want to do an intervention for me when you didn't even stand up for me when people were talking ill about me? So he needs to apologize, and it needs to be a sincere apology, and then they probably could move on. Side note, Cree is gonna be TT and Shawn's wedding planner. When she came to that house in that jacket with them poofies, burn that, Cree. Put that in the fire and let it burn. Because that was not, you are too pretty to have on that ugly jacket. That jacket was god ugly. So let's move on to y'all know who I don't like. Sam and Egypt. The Bopsy twins. I I will give credit where credit is due. Savannah gained points with me, so I'm not gonna call her Savannah. Savannah gave points for me because she had an opportunity to be a messy person this entire episode, and she took the high road and did things that I think was she did the right thing. Basically, we get introduced to the new Egypt. She shaved off her head because Sam told her to. She's so dumb. Because Sam told her to. She's in the studio. They're in the studio. Sam's singing some song called Last Call, which was very like not even Spotify, like SoundCloud worthy. So Savannah comes in. She's shocked that she shaved her head. They were so dramatic in showing her shaving her head. And she was like, this is like, I'm a grown woman now. Sis, you're 22. You're an adult, but like, you're not a grown woman because you still live at home with your mama. Like, your music career is not paying for your lifestyle. Your man lives in your mama's house and is filming OnlyFans in your mama's house where he makes $350K. He makes not $350K. He makes $3,500 a month. And y'all live in Las Vegas, where I do know that, like, housing wise, you could probably find you a nice 1-bedroom apartment, but y'all still staying at home with your mama. That's not an adult. For you to be harping so much on, like, I'm a grown woman, you're not. Go to bed. Calm down. Please. So she's basically in the studio. Savannah comes in, and Savannah basically, like I said, she had the opportunity to be messy, but she asks Egypt, do you want to be a part of this showcase with the record label Slip and Slide? And she's like, if JoJo is running it, JoJo is trying to do his showcase. And she was like, why isn't JoJo asking me? And Savannah was like, well, you know, he asked me to ask you. And then Egypt is like, I feel like this is some mess going on. And I'm like, oh, whatever. So basically, Savannah didn't tell them that, like, he asked TT first. And TT was like, I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole. And I was like, okay, point one. Point number two is that she was really trying to express and encourage Egypt to still do the showcase, even though Sam wasn't allowed to come. Later on, we found out that he was invited. He just can't perform. And so Egypt's main response is, if you're not effing with him, you're not effing with me. And I'm like, okay, you're a dummy, because you're putting all your eggs in one basket. The fact that, I wrote down what she said, because I was like, oh, she tripping big time. Egypt basically said, Sam is a mogul in the making. She said Sam is a mogul in the making. She said she and Sam are Beyonce and Jay-Z, and people just don't treat them like Beyonce and Jay-Z. And the way Savannah looked at her, like, I was like, who are y'all? Y'all not even Sierra and Russell. Well, Sierra and Russell still got, you know what? Y'all not even Safari and Erica Mena, and I think they birds. Y'all not even on that level. At least Safari got some music that people want to bump to. Erica is a bird, but like, she been on so many reality shows. She got coin to take care of herself. I don't even know how people equate themselves to Beyonce when they don't have the worth ethic, nor are they on that level. Like, you're not Jay-Z, you're not Beyonce. No. That's blasphemy. And then she said that, and then this is the part where I was like, oh, you tripping. She said her and Sam are a team. They grow together. Then she even says Sam is her everything. He writes all her songs. He helped me gain my confidence when I lost my voice. And I was just like, you're a dummy. Because Savannah is really like, girl, it's Slip and Slide. So then Sam is like, who's on that label? Like, I'm like, he's made it sound like he didn't know. And Savannah was like, girl, Trina, Plies, Trick Daddy, Rick Ross, and they were like, oh, like, yeah, like they're having a solid showcase. Or the record company, the people that are gonna be there are going to be solid, like, record label and music execs, people that you could network with. And that's what Savannah was trying to explain to her, like, you could network with some good people. And then she was like, and then Sam was like, we don't need them. And I'm like, you're a dummy. And then I guess to shift the conversation, Savannah brings up that she met TT, and she was like, yeah, she's definitely getting married in Jamaica. And then Egypt was like, our spot. Jamaica is not your spot. Jamaica is a country. It belongs to the Jamaican people. Her mom is in the Jamaican government. It is more of TT's spot than anybody's spot. Girl, we didn't even know you were Jamaican before you got on the TV. So shut up. Let me calm down. Because she aggravates me. Then, so basically, now I understand why she be going so hard at TT. Is because she feels like TT made her look dumb and naive. So then she basically ends up telling Savannah that Shawn is cheating on Shawn cheated on TT. And Savannah is like, why did you tell me that? And she was like, I don't need to know. And Savannah was like, I'm going to tell. In her confession, was like, I'm going to tell her, so, because I would want someone to tell me. Plus, she was like, I don't want to be attached to this. And then I can't stand that Sam is always saying, who is TT? Egypt's cousin? Who is TT's? Pep's niece? Like, bro, who are you? Who is Sam attached to? The only reason you messing with Egypt is because she's attached to Tretch and Pepper. Other than that, she's nobody. If Egypt wasn't attached to Pepper or Tretch, Sam wouldn't look her way because she's a nobody. She's not even a somebody now. The only reason who is listening to her music? Didn't they even show, like, I think her working on her music video, and she looked a mess. She looked like a broke down Jamaican dancer, and it was not cute. I mean, her dance moves was hot, but it was like, this outfit ain't it. Sam sitting on his on the couch like, let's go. Like, he's directing everything, looking like a $2 pimp with that chapped up. I was just like, she's dumb. She is dumb. And the thing is like, I promise you, she's going to look back on this and feel like feel so bad. Because the way that she has dogged out her cousin for this boy, and the way her mom has allowed it, is disgusting. And like, you reap what you sow. You really do. Because no one cares about your tired ass music. No one cares about Sam's tired music. Like, y'all both look like two crackheads in the confessional, just a broke down version of I can't even think of nothing. Like, that was just her. Like, she found so much delight in telling Savannah that Shawn cheated on TT. And it's just that, I think that's what aggravates me and makes me not like her, is the fact that you find enjoyment in the fact that your cousin could potentially be hurt by this, or it was hurt by this, and that brings you joy. And that means you're a messed up person, and Pep did a horrible job raising you. And side note, when they were at the music videos, Pep smacks Egypt's butt. Sam gonna make a comment, talk about, oh, that's my job, and she's like, no, that's gonna always be my butt. That is not a banter that a mother and a soon-to-be son-in-law has. Let me tell you that. I guarantee y'all, in a few years, we gonna find out that she was messing with that boy, and that is nasty. I'm letting you know it's nasty. So then at the end of the episode, Savannah tells Cree, and Cree basically, about the rumor that Egypt told her, and Cree basically told her the truth. Like, if she gonna say that about her cousin, about her blood, she definitely will spread your rumors. And I said, yeah, Egypt looks unloyal and untrustworthy, and that's on her. So she gonna reap what she sow. But yeah, y'all, that's it. Remember to be bravely authentic, and I'm out. Deuces.